Hello, good evening, and welcome to Gobbler Games.
Excellent. Well, we'll get right into it. Hello and welcome back to the season finale, the shortest season possibly ever on Gardeling of Blades in the Dark. Season one, I think Aaron is going to take up the mantle next week. Dying that I can't be involved in that, but I will really enjoy watching it on playback later. Yes, so we're in the middle of a heist. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the last session. The guys are just gearing up to go out and get up to no good, but also deal with something potentially spooky. So a little recap as quick as we can. The guys started a heist to smuggle some food into the district of Dunslough, where when they got there, they met these weird people walking around that were actually animated corpses being carried around by rats. They then liaisoned with Ulf Ironborn, state terrorist but known Scovelander, in the middle of the Dunslough ghetto, and he told them that basically he had, with his guys, they've taken everything of value from the mire, and they're willing to kind of hand it over in exchange for these guys solving the problem. The mire is an open pit mine, in it's kind of the main focus of Dunslough, and our intrepid crew were just deciding on what kind of load they were going to take with them, because now is a time that they could reorganize their packs, kind of decide what they're going out with. Jackdaw looked down into the pit of the mine and saw a seething mass of thousands of vermin spilling out of a single doorway. So, what would people like to bring with them?
Would you mind quickly reminding us what the malice of taking a larger load would be?
Here, probably nothing, really.
In this case, absolutely. It's naff all, because it means you're more likely to get noticed by people.
Yeah, the main thing I would say is, if you say to me, I'm bringing a heavy load and it's 9 rifles, you will struggle to climb into small spaces, as well as be noticed that you're clearly up to a crime. However, here, that's not a problem, that you're clearly up to a crime. But if we're saying an agility test to run away from something, I may give you less effect.
Can you drop a load midway through?
Yes, but I wouldn't say you can pick it up. So you could say...
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I was just checking. Like, I don't know if it's just like, no, it's like Velcro on your body.
I don't know that there's a mechanic for it, but I don't see why you couldn't drop something heavy off your person. It's like, I'm dropping 2 load as I run. Yeah.
and then the rat zombies pick up your gun like, oh, you idiot!
Excellent. So we'll start with Ben. What kind of load is Slab going to carry?
Slab is very definitely taking a heavy load.
I kind of saw that one coming, not going to lie. That's fantastic. So that gives you 6 items. You don't need to tell me what the items are now, and you can have conceivably anything on your character list, or something a bit stretchy that you might not have. We just have a flashback and we figure out how you got it. Okay, now, what is Saul bringing with them in terms of load?
Oh boy. Well, I don't know how useful he's going to be if he takes a heavy load, but I also don't know how useful he's going to be if he can move slightly faster. So we'll just go for the middle and go with a normal load.
Yeah, that gives you 5 items, which is still a very respectable amount of items. You will struggle to burn through 5 items. And yeah, that's great. Okay, Ty, what is the wonderful Murmur bringing?
Murmur's gonna go with 5, as they're not that strong. I feel like they wouldn't easily be lugging around a heavy, so they're gonna go with the normal.
Yeah, okay, that's absolutely fine with me. A normal load. Pat, I kind of think I know where this one's going.
Well, we're going heavy, motherfucker. I want to absolutely shoot the shit out of so many fucking rats.
Excellent. Okay. The town's personal exterminator. Fantastic. And then Jackdaw. Aaron, what's Jackdaw bringing?
Jackdaw, he didn't like to be loaded down with nothing. He didn't wear no armor because that's for cowards. So he's going normal load with maybe just a couple of kits.
I see Jackdaw takes the Viking Berserker school of thought. If it was going to kill me, it's going to kill me anyway.
You got to be able to move fast, and if you can't duck the bullet, well, you deserve to get hit by it. Isn't that right?
Excellent. Okay, so we know what everyone has. That's just to see how many items you have. And just to remind viewers at home, I'm going to call out people's names, and if you tell us how many stress you're on, knowing that once you get to 10 stress, you basically trauma out. Now, it's very clear in the book that you disappear for the rest of that scene, right? That doesn't mean the rest of the heist. It just means until there's a conceivable scene change. We can discuss that. So don't be afraid to trauma out. That's all I'm saying. We'll find a way to get you back in. So, Ben, what kind of trauma has Slab got? Or not trauma, stress.
Slab has 3 trauma, but is about to pick up another 2.
3 stress.
3 stress, yeah. 3
3
trauma.
stress,
Slab would
yes.
be
0
virtually
trauma.
a useless character at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, to be fair, Slab is moderately useless already. However,
I
yeah,
don't
3
know about
stress, 3 stress, and I'm going for a flashback in a minute to get an extra 2.
Great, I love it. 9. How much is Saul packing?
0.
Oh, yeah. Saul had a very relaxing time.
Saul has been kept safe from all danger.
The terrors of the real world.
Exactly.
Ty, what kind of stress is Murmur packing?
Remember sitting at a good old 5.
That's about peak efficiency for a whisper.
Yeah.
That's about where you should be at all times for a whisper. Excellent. Pat, what is Ash?
I thought I knew actually, but now I have a question. Do you get 2 stress from doing a flashback?
No, it depends on the flashback.
Oh, okay.
Some are free. It depends on how much stress the flashback would have been in.
Okay.
So, for example, if you to break into somewhere the night before and stash a gun, that's probably a 3 stress event or more. But if you, I don't know, you just go back in time to remember to bring your keys, that's maybe free.
All right. Well, then I think I'm at 2.
Okay, fantastic. And then Aaron.
Well, Jackdaw somehow, being the crazy bastard that he is still only sitting at 1 stress. We're going to have to do something about that.
I certainly will, don't you worry. I'm rolling back through, and I don't think Jackdaw rolled a single thing that wasn't desperate in the last.
No, yeah, he went nuts. I got desperate
Why?
rolls.
But
all
you
over
remember
the
you
place.
got I'm pretty sure you got like an amazing downtime roll, which like
Yes.
obliterated all your
Yeah.
stress.
Yeah, I was down to 0 stress, and I only got stress last session because I resisted light harm.
Yeah,
But I still rolled a 5.
consequence.
Still
Yeah.
rolled a 5 on
That's
it.
a great roll.
So I'm just got the 1.
Okay, so you're all geared up. You guys are, about to set off, and Ulf is like, do you want a guide to bring you to the mine?
Thought we had one.
Well, yeah, well, he's coming with you. You're still okay with that,
Yeah.
right?
Is he okay?
Yeah, he won't go into the mine.
Nah.
He'll bring you as far as.
All right.
Great. Dermot, you're heading with them, are you? Oh, I am, boss. Yeah. And just to be clear, Dermot, you're a volunteer. Absolutely. Right. Okay, great. Show him the way, so.
Hello.
And, yeah, he's, like, looking at this unconventional group of Tycherosi, basically, and one Scovelander among them. And he's wondering how terrifying that Scovelander must be to be accepted amongst the Tycherosi. Like, what has this guy done? He's terrified of you. The other guys don't scare him. So he's keeping a distance from you, and he's kind of walking along with Pat, and he's going, Pat's character Ash, if you got many bullets.
Yeah.
Well, it's not enough. There's thousands of them
Oh.
down there. There's thousands. Okay. So he walks you down this kind of back street, and he's really sketchy. He's walking around, he's looking out for rattlers, as he calls them, which are these individuals that, are lurching around. And there's, you guys, as you come out of the ghetto, there's this big open space between the ghetto and the mire. You can see it on the map. I'll draw a little line here. And that big open space. 6 years in art college. And that big open space you can see there. And it's lousy with rattlers. This is where the majority of people died. And so there's maybe 10 or 15 of them between you and the mire. Jackdaw was able to look into the mire because he got up high. So you can look down into it.
He's still on this little building right here.
Yeah. So you can see, Jackdaw, from your perspective, you can see your guys kind of bopping and weaving between the outskirts of the shacks, the ghetto. But you can see between them and the entrance to the mire, it's about 10, 15 of these rattlers.
Oi! Guys, I'm up here. Yeah. Hey, the rat guys, there are a whole bunch of them you guys are coming up on, so that'd be a good time.
All right, can I have my flashback now then, Josh?
Please.
Okay, so back to before we left on the barge. Slab has visited a leech of his acquaintance who is an artificer. Weird, crabby-looking little guy, about 4'5", absolutely barking mad.
That's kind of artificer, yeah.
Yeah. Went through madness, come out the other side now, paddling around in the still, clear waters of permanent and entrenched insanity.
Excellent.
And I wish to borrow from him a flamethrower.
Okay. Borrow from him a flamethrower.
Or, sorry, test on his behalf a flamethrower, because we're going to go and fight the plague, which might mean having to set fire to buildings.
I will give you a flamethrower, but it comes with 2 rather significant flaws.
Mm-hmm.
One is, once it turns on, it doesn't turn off till it's empty.
Yep.
And the other one is, it gets very hot.
Okay.
Yeah, because this guy's barking mad.
Yeah.
He just thought, it's like a single shot flamethrower. And it'll burn for 3 minutes.
Cool.
A lot of, but once it starts, it doesn't stop. And it won't go again.
Wait, 3 minutes of continuous, fire coming out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's horrifying. Oh, that's
yeah.
really
At first, I thought I was being really nice by giving you 3 minutes, but now I realize that's a curse. What do you do for the other 2 minutes and 10 seconds while this thing?
Particularly while it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and you have to hold on to it.
Are you happy to take that?
I will
Excellent.
take that deal.
Okay, so we cut back to everyone is standing there. You're
How
looking
much
at
stress was that?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's a 2-stresser. Because
Okay.
it's just contorting with friend, but you've had to conceal this, you've had to carry it, so it's added 2 stress to this, everything you've done so far.
Great big backpack with this whacking great thing in that I pulled off the back of the van.
You're getting 1 stress every time someone lights a match.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think most of your stresses come from the fact that you're very aware you're carrying a huge amount of explosive gas or explosive liquid. Excellent. Okay.
Does that count on load as well then? Because I know
that'll be one of your loads. Yes.
Is it an unusual weapon or a large weapon?
It's
large.
It's a large weapon.
I thought it might be.
So 2.
Yep, that's okay. Still got plenty of room.
Right.
I'm going right behind Slab then. Fuck that.
Yeah, you don't want to be in front.
So
No.
Dearman starts pointing to you guys and he goes, if you make a break for the cross there, and you all get across before one of those gets you, you'll see there's a little shack there. That's the entrance shack. Go around it to the left, and there's 2 paths in front of you. Take the path furthest on your left, not the one that's kind of on your left. So again, furthest on your left, not kind of on your left. Kind of on your left leads to a sheer drop. You'd be cornered. Furthest on your left leads down to the mine. So it's like left, really left.
Okay.
Right.
Left.
Oh, left, really left, right. Got it.
No,
Yeah.
just left.
Oh,
Right, yeah,
okay.
right.
Okay, right. Left, not right, then right.
Yes, right.
This vaudevillian axe was brought to you.
Hey, bada bing. So he's like, I can draw a couple of them away, but only 2 or 3.
Yeah, all right.
Would
Here,
Mr.
Ash, can you
be
chuck
able
something
to
over
use
there?
one of their? Oh,
Chuck.
actually, right.
Well, they go after sounds, don't they? So I chuck a bit of metal or something. Is there a bin lid?
Oh, we've got bullets. Why don't we chuck one of them?
Nah, it's not big and clangy enough.
Oh, okay.
I like
They feel
the good
heavy
idea.
to me.
Yeah, and you're. This is like an impromptu kind of slum fella ghetto style. Everything is made out of corrugated piece of metal or bits of old scraps. There's plenty you could peel off something and throw.
Perfect. All right, I get the
With a bat.
largest, clangiest, reverberation-iest looking piece of metal I can find and try to fling it as far as I can.
I'm gonna make you roll for it. The only reason being, on a failure, it's gonna make noise while you take it off and have the opposite effect. You know,
Absolutely.
like
All right, what sort of...
I think it's a finesse.
Ooh, sure we can't make that a wreck?
I think that would be the opposite of what you want.
Damn. All right, that's like the one that I don't have any ranks in, so what should...
You can push yourself for 2 stress and get a bonus dice in it.
You know
You
what? Fuck
Take a
it,
devil's
why
bargain, or someone could assist you.
not? What's the devil's bargain gonna look like?
The devil's bargain is that... Oh, it's so tricky. I always find the devil's bargain is the hardest part to be fair and balanced. And if you've won for yourself, I'd highly recommend it. I think the devil's bargain is that you, if no matter the outcome, you will have been identified by the Rattlers as trouble. You will be the target of their ire for the first one.
All right. Very well. I'm going to take a step away from the group then, and I'm going to take that devil's bargain. So what does that give me?
You have 1 dice. So you're now not rolling 0 dice, you're rolling 1.
All right. So position.
Position
desperate
is
or risky?
risky.
All right. And effect.
Standard.
All right. And then an extra dice of 1.
So you'd be rolling 1 dice.
Ooh.
That's
Ouch.
not good.
See, you guys look as, like, you know, Ash shoulders a rifle, walks over, kind of appraises this outhouse and is like, hands on hip, this is the one, and goes to pull a piece of sheet metal off, and the entire outhouse just collapses down. And then Ash still yeets the piece of sheet metal that came away, and it kind of skips across the yard. And Dermot, who was with you guys, goes, fuck this, and just scutters, runs the opposite direction.
I think Ash turns to the group and says, all right, run.
So I'm going to start a little clock here, and it's not a big clock, it's only a 4 clock. Once
Ollie.
we reach the end of the 4, they will be upon you. If you can get to the entrance of the mine before then, you will pass the Rattlers. Because there's ways you can delay them. Okay. It sounds like you guys need to hustle.
I think that Ash is going to stay behind, banging and clanging in her current position.
Right. Okay.
But
That's
Ash
very
could
good.
probably still catch up because you're
Yeah.
a bit good at prowl, aren't you?
So what we could do is
Who's going first? Soul doesn't want to go first across there. He literally said, so long as one of them doesn't catch you, you'll be fine.
Don't worry,
this looks like-
Jackdaw's job is to go first.
Oh yeah,
It's a-
he's gonna just jump down and run right for the mire. He's like, right then, let's get going there. Hey,
All right.
and as he's running by, he's like, hey, which path are we supposed to take?
Aaron, it sounds to me like Jackdaw is leading this group action.
Yeah, he'll do that. Why not? That's insane.
Group actions are fantastic, and they're also awful at the same time. So somebody leads the group action, and it may not be you. It could be Ash that's leading it by distracting them. And what happens is everyone rolls on the same skill, and anyone who fails, that counts as stress for the leader of the group action.
Okay.
And
So
the
if you-
person who failed. I mean, you get your stress too.
Yeah, but it all adds up to the person who
It's shared stress. Like
Is it
a
just
real
pro?
group of things.
I don't know. What are you guys doing? How are you getting across the yard?
And I sway myself. No,
Hey,
no,
Ratman, I've always been fond of cheese myself.
I think you would climb, swim, run, jump, and tumbling.
Yeah, it's probably Prowl,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, no,
That's got running,
Just
jumping,
take
tumbling.
all right.
Yeah. Traversing
Well, prepared.
obstacles. It's prowl. It's got to be prowl.
Yeah. Prepare to save me, Aaron.
Does everybody have to roll the same thing?
Yep.
Everyone has to roll the same thing. Yeah.
All right.
Is this
I'm
a
going
risky?
to, Ash,
But not-
I'm going to
everybody
exclude you
doesn't
from
have to
this
be-
group action. Yeah, you're
everybody
not
doesn't
doing
have
it.
to be in it.
You're elsewhere, kicking up a storm. Yes. Okay. Group action. Leading us on page 124. For those of you reading at home. So it sounds like a prowl. I'm going to say it's a risky prowl because Ash is the one they're targeting. And your effect is standard. You could push it to desperate if you wanted, but the effects will be worse.
I'm going desperate. I'm trying to gather everybody around and get them down there, but I want to get a better effect out of it.
So we all make a roll for this, and we count the single best result.
Does that
That's
mean we
the
all
effect.
roll on the Aaron difficulty?
Yeah, you all make a desperate roll, and then we count the single best effect. It really doesn't matter what you guys are rolling because it's Aaron that has dictated. Yeah.
This is hey, you guys wanted to follow
It's
a madcap jackdaw, so reap what I sow.
So anyone who fails takes 1 stress on a 1, 2, 3. They take a stress because it's been stressful for them, and then it basically goes badly for jackdaw from there on in. But we'll see. That's only if you fail. You can all do great.
So I'll just mark this stress now then.
So what did you say? It's a desperate roll with the effect being...
The effect being standard. You get across the yard. Actually, the effect would be great because you kicked it up front.
Oh, and I got reset.
So Murmur makes it across the yard.
Well, what kind of a devil's bargain could I get out of this?
What do you feel is appropriate, Aaron? I think the devil's bargain is that you get a taste for leadership.
Oh, wait. I put great. Ignore the effect. Great.
It doesn't matter.
Cool.
That's 0 dice. You pass as well now.
Oh
my God.
Right.
Excellent.
I think I'll let the devil's bargain go. But yeah, I'll just let it go.
I love that. Jack just sitting there going, I wonder, how can this be more daredevilish? While the other 3 of us are just
Running.
Yeah, so amazingly, you all passed there, which is fantastic. Which means it doesn't actually cost Jackdaw all that much stress to get this done. However, our best result was a 6, so that means that these guys only take 1 of the 4 o'clock to get closer to you. Ash, meanwhile, you've watched everyone yeeted across the yard completely, wah, wah. Murmur did a tumble for some reason, but it was very impressive.
With a cloak, a tumble would be so hard.
Yeah, and kept going. It was all. And Slab is really spry. You never realized how spry Slab was. And you're watching all this, and then there's a moment of, oh yeah, the rattlers, and they're like suddenly getting quite close. And in total, you can make out 12. There are 12 now that you've had time to count.
She's got nobody can see her, so she's finally grinning, and her eyes are wide open. She's exactly where she wanted to be all along. She's got her gun out, it's loaded, and she is aiming. And maniac grin on her face. Jackdaw gets a lot of credit for being the team's most riskiest member. But not very many people realize just how much she loves the thrill comparatively.
So what we'll do is we will make a clock with 12 ticks on it. And every success you get, so a 6 will be 3 ticks, a 4 and a 5 will be 2 ticks. So an action roll that you get will count that as you've nailed 2 of them, or you've nailed 3 of them. A failure will be none.
All right.
You miss. Let me see, how many rolls do we think you would have before they get to you? I'm going to roll fortune dice, and every time these guys succeed, they get 1 tick closer. Every time they fail, their little ratty bodies don't do great. So 4, 8, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know what I'm doing. Sorry, for those of you at home, I'm drawing the world's worst clock ever. It's been spectacular.
If they fail, they decided to nibble on the feet first of the corpse.
Like we discussed in the downtime before this session, the rats are actually just heavily unionized, so they're actually they're all just like discussing. Hey, well, how would
call me a scab.
Excellent. Okay, Pat, I will allow you to roll first. It sounds like a hunt roll to me.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Can I say desperate?
Yeah, it's desperate.
All right.
This is an extended roll, so we're just going to say the position is desperate. You don't get a tick for each of these rolls.
And effect standard, great, limited.
I'd say great.
Okay.
Shooting
And
slow moving targets.
is this something that I can take a devil's bargain on, or should I wait for later? It sounds to me like there's going to be multiple rolls. Do I spend now, or do I chalk that up later?
You can take a devil's bargain whenever you want during this.
Okay. Do I know? I mean, like, presumably, I want to take it kind of towards the end of this extended roll thing. So.
Yeah. Best case scenario, you're going to need to roll 4 6s. Am I right in saying that?
All right.
Yeah, 4 6s. And you have 3. They're going to need to roll 3 successes. So it's stacked in their favor.
All right.
Except
And
I'm going to use foresight at this stage to assist a teammate without paying stress.
Amazing.
Because
So you get a
little does
bonus
Ash
dice.
know, but the first round that's chambered is actually a chemical round that I swiped from that nutcase inventor on my way out of his lab. And
yeah.
it's a phosphorus round.
Okay, Dragon's Breath.
Dragon's
yeah,
Breath.
all
excellent.
right.
Fab. Okay.
So, do I have
And
a?
then the rifle is made useless because Dragon's Breath fucks your gun.
Don't worry, I took 6 heavy, so I can just have another rifle.
You just pull another one out.
Excellent.
All
Okay, make the first roll.
How many bonus dice do I get?
You get 1 for the assist. If you
Okay.
push yourself for 2 stress, you can get another one.
All
Okay.
right. Well, I didn't push. Next
You
time
can
I'll
always
roll,
do
I
it
guess.
next time. So, Pat, you knock off 2 of these guys, and because of the Dragon's Breath round, I'm actually going to call it 3. One of them immolates. So 2 of them get nailed, bang, bang. And then the third round chambered is this chemical round because Slab is, a very intelligent, but also knows fucking with your guns is dangerous and had to do it in a hurry. So it was the third one down. And it's just like, boof! The third rat immolates. Now I'm going to roll 1d6, and I fail, so they don't progress. They are still 3 ticks away from me. You get to roll again, Pat.
All right. So this time I'm gonna risky effect. Great. And I'm gonna go ahead and you said 1 bonus from 2 stress.
Yeah.
Boom.
Look at that. Excellent. So you kill another 3 of them. So you guys, as you're running into the yard, you can just hear like crack, crack, woof, crack, crack, crack. And, there's no other sound. There's no crying of, they're upon me. I'm going to roll another fortune dice. Here we go. It is a success. They get 1 closer to you, but you're halfway through them. That's 12 guys. You've taken down 6 so far. Okay, over to you.
All right. I'm taking another 2 stress, risky, great, and
Yeah.
bonus dice 1.
Okay, you take out 2 guys. Perfect. And which leaves a total of 4, I think, yeah. And we're gonna roll a fortune dice for these guys. It's a 4, they get 1 closer. You have another roll. Best case scenario, you crit and kill them all.
All right.
Sixes.
What's the devil's bargain on this?
The devil's bargain? What? This is a desperate situation, so it's quite a dire devil's bargain. I think the devil's bargain is the guys have barricaded the way in to stop these things following them. You'll need to find another way into the mire.
Beautiful. All right. So effect great. Can I take the devil's bargain and push?
Yeah. You can. Oh. No, you can't. You can only one or the other.
All right.
But you can take
I'm
an
taking the
assist.
devil's bargain.
It's probably good
But-
for your stress. Yeah.
Well, I can probably pull another push off, but let's do this.
Okay.
Oof.
You kill another 2. Right. There's only 2 left. They're getting really close. Here we go for our final fortune roll. It's a 5. Pat, I'm gonna need you to roll me a skirmish.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or a wreck, or they're just really close, and you realize your
It's all
gun
the
jams
same
up.
to me.
You got to chamber the round, it clicks, and you're
Ah! All right. Is this desperate now?
yes.
And standard or effect?
Effect is standard.
Okay.
Give me
I'm gonna push this.
Ooh.
a 6. You kill 2 of them. So it's very haunting for you guys. You're hearing this crack, crack, crack of a gun. It's almost like exactly the same distance apart. As long as it takes to chamber the round is the distance between the shots, and then it goes silent, and then you hear 4 thuds, thud, thud, thud. And next, you just catch a glimpse of Ash running past the edge of the mire, obviously looking for another way in. What a terrifying call! Ollie, thank you so much for that, Pat. That was really well played. So meanwhile, you guys are booting it down this mud path, and you are like tripping and falling over rats. They're just streaming past you. All these like vermin in their multitudes, all different sizes, all different colors. And some of them are like very old and very fat. Some of them are pregnant. Some of them are. It's just every type of rat you've ever seen is coming out of this pit.
Would I, Murmur, be able to try to call on the second ghost that I sent out from my spirit bottles last session, as one of them went to the mire, and I haven't heard back from them yet, so I would probably try to get some contact with them.
Yeah, you could absolutely attune to your spirit, no problem. So it'd be a risky grace.
Okay.
Effect.
And if I have my spirit masks, does that...
it improves your effect, but your effect's already great, because it's your ghost.
Cool, so desperate.
Oh, standing.
Risky. Just risky.
Oh, okay. So it's risky.
With great effect.
With great effect. Cool. That's a 2 and a 4.
4 is a pass.
Sweet.
Yeah, you find your ghost, and you can see them, like they're visible, except they're gorging themselves on like rat life energy. They're sucking souls out of rats, and they're getting quite strong. So what was like a lesser kind of spirit is now like quite a manic ghost that's flying around. It's just feeding on all these like, little.
So is this? Oh, sorry.
Little vermin rats, but it's like on the outskirts of the mire. You can make contact with it. What do you specifically want to know from this ghost?
Well, I sent the spirit to kind of try to check out what's going on, to give us more info of what's going on in the mire. That's what the plan was. But if they got distracted by eating rats,
I mean, whom among us? So you're trying to get them maybe to go further into the mire with this roll, and it was a success. So they will go further into the mire, but like we said, if we look at our wee map, you guys have come down a path. Like,
so did the like I was trying to get like info from it from when we sent it in. So did this ghost end up picking up any info? Because we sent them last session over.
Yeah. So the bit of info you get between this ghost like gorging itself and is like you can attune to it, and you can almost like you have these flashes of reading its mind and it feeding you stuff, and it's like it's gone kind of feral, because eating rats is not good for anyone. You know where the rats are streaming from, and it's picked out a route that you guys could follow down, because you've seen everything from above. So there's one little rickety bridge you'll see there, and that will bring you down to the base level. And at the base level here, where these lovely cages are, that is where our entrance to the evil pit that all the things are coming out of.
Okay. So Murmur, I'd be like, put my mask on, and then I could take it off and come back and be like, I know where they're pouring in from. We have to go over this big old rickety bridge. No one fall in.
I will attempt not to. I was just gonna say, since it was an old lady ghost, is it like when like an auntie gets really drunk on sherry at a wedding? Is that what's happened? Okay, I'll stop trying to interject with jokes.
It's exactly like that. Like the ghost is having too good a time, and everyone around it is thoroughly uncomfortable. But you kind of just have to let it run its course.
Auntie Viv's been at the sherry again.
Yeah, it's only seconds away from saying, are you still doing the arts and crafts? this ghost is kind of there. It's still around, like it's in a veritable oasis for this ghost, but it's kind of less interested in you because you did put it in a bottle.
Has she really eaten all of those liqueur chocolates?
Yeah, she's going to town. I mean, we could just leave her in here and maybe she'll eat them all, but
you don't even need to roll for it. It would take her centuries. And the flow of rats coming out of this thing hasn't slowed. It's like the floor of this thing is just rats and rats and rats and rats. So what are we up to? 9.
I think we need that flamethrower.
What is Saul thinking upon seeing all this?
Well, I think the first thought is, wow, this is a lot of rats. And then the second thought is, okay, left, far left, not right. Right? Or was he just saying right? Like, that's all he's thinking of. He doesn't have very many. Like, he's like, I'm probably going to die here. And I didn't think I was going to die here. But that's okay. We make what life gives us. Look at everyone else armed to the teeth with guns, just like...
So with some loaded dice being like, these rats want to play dice. Right, we could have crossed to Jackdaw. What does Jackdaw do?
Jackdaw looks at you like, come on, hey Saul, buck up, kid. This is gonna be a good time. We're gonna get down there. We're gonna wrestle around with some rats. We're gonna make some coin. And he is looking down towards that bridge. He's like, I'm gonna be the first to cross because I gotta try this out for everybody. Slab, you're way too big to go first. Let me see what this bridge is all about. And
excellent.
Without any concern for himself, he is moving out.
All right, we'll just do, don't mind me, just rolling a quick fortune dice, but that could mean anything.
Don't look behind the curtain.
Success. You see it. As you're like crossing this bridge, you're like, guys, you do that thing that the annoying kid does on the hiking trip where you're like jumping up and down on the bridge and be like, it's totally safe. And if this was any kind of movie, you would then fall through the plank. You'd be like, oh my God, everyone's safe. But no, while you're jumping out, you see the entrance of this place, and it's got a faint glow that all these rats are coming out, but it's a weird, like, sputtery glow. It's like ba 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 ba.
Jackdaw. So does it look like a spiritual glow, like
It's like a green miasma-y glow. You wouldn't have seen it as a spirit glow. I always imagine they're kind of like blues and greys. This is like something different.
Hey guys, there's some really weird glowing stuff, green glowing stuff down here. I don't know. Let's get closer and see what happens. So,
Whisper, green and glow is your problem.
Actually, can Jackdaw like assess what, like, if this is some kind of gas or what the origin of this is while he's there?
It sounds to me like what you want to do is either a study or a survey.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, I could
Let's
do
do
a
a
study.
survey.
Yeah, so it's only risky.
Oh, nice.
And your effect is limited.
All right, well, then I'm going to push it to desperate so I can get standard effect. So I'm going to get closer. So I was like, I can't quite get this. So he gets closer to see if he can get a better idea of what this is all about. So we get a standard effect. What's a devil's bargain for this?
You see it, it sees you.
I like that. We're going to do that. We're going to take that bonus die then. I see it, it sees me, and I get a 6.
You look into this cavern, and everyone else is like, he's not going to go any closer. And you just see him doing this, like, and kind of getting closer, and then like peering around the edge. And you look into what does not make sense. It's like the cavern is like spiraling, but you can see all the way down it as if your vision is spiraling. And at the end, there is like there's this green emission of like an electrical kind of charge, and from that, just these piles of rats are falling out of this enigma down the end of the corridor.
Hey guys, I'm really dizzy down here. There's some weird stuff going, but there's some kind of zappity thing that's shooting rats out like a sphincter down here.
Meanwhile, Ash, on the note of sphincter, you find yourself you found your way down into the mire. You've come down by a different route to the other guys, so it's been rough going. Down this kind of, mainly you've slid down this bank, so you're kind of quite muddy, and you've arrived at the rickety bridge from the other side. Jackdaw's meanwhile downstairs looking into this cavern, and you just see him going, "Hey guys, it's like a giant sphincter in there." What are you thinking? What are you up to?
All right. So, how far am I from the rest of the group?
So the rest of the group,
I'm down a different cavern, right? I can only see Jackdaw.
No, you could look like if you look at the map here, we're kind of like it's an open mine, so there's no real caverns except this particular one. And the guys are on the ping that's just gone there, and you are on the ping over here.
I'm not seeing your pings.
Bing, bing. Over to the right. Here, I'll draw you in a yellow circle.
Yeah,
there you go.
That works.
Happy yellow circle.
Maybe I need to refresh. I'm not seeing that one. Anyway, I'm all right. So
if you can't see, are you looking at the map of the mire?
On Roll20, yeah.
Yeah, and can you see the kind of brown map beside it?
The other map beside it? Okay, yep. Oh, geez. Okay, you have actually the map here. Sorry.
No
My bad.
problem.
Okay, I'm seeing all the pings now. My apologies. Oh, okay.
You're the smiley face.
One of the smiley faces.
And I'm gonna make.
Sorry.
Excellent. So you're standing there. I'll give you a sec to decide what you're doing on. Meanwhile, Ben, what's Slab up to? Have you crossed the bridge? Or are you?
No, Slab's doing some maths.
Okay. What kind of maths?
He's actually trying to calculate, because we know how long the rats have been coming through, and I can see how many rats are coming across. So I've counted the number of rats that are passing me per minute, and then working out how many rats have passed in total for the amount of time we've had.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And I want to sort of take a look at the study on that to work out the total mass of rats that should have passed through this region.
I'm going to say it's controlled great, because you're just standing there doing maths, and I feel like Slab is good at that.
Oh,
That's a double one. Have you ever tried counting rats as they run past? Your maths are great, but best you can tell, 200 rats is a lot of rats, and maybe it could be 200 a minute, but it could also be 400. And actually, are they carrying? Maybe it's the same rats coming around in a loop. In fact, you see one rat that is just running in a loop.
He's very confused.
Yeah, he's a greenhorn rat. So
we're actually using my ability to do maths rather than Slab's ability to do maths.
Well,
I think it just represents how difficult it is.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers here are impossible anyway.
Yeah. I mean, Ben, you would have taken head counts on field trips. You know, difficult at the best of times because they move around, right? And imagine if they were rats.
And there's always that one kid that's still in the toilet.
Yeah, and yeah, so there's lots of rats in the bathroom right now. Excellent. Tyler, what's Murmur doing?
Murmur is going to want to get down to where Jackdaw is, as if they're feeling all dizzy and woozy from whatever the heck's in this cave. Well, Jackdaw saved Murmur, and if anything Murmur has learned from their nobility is that you can't let someone have something over you like that, so they're going to stick right by Jackdaw and try to save them if they need it.
Yeah, so you can walk down like this. It hasn't attacked Jackdaw, and he's been quite obvious and loud about it. So you could walk down and stare at this thing as well. And yeah, as you look down the corridor, if you imagine like a DNA kind of spiral, it's spiraling like that, but just one arm of it, and the floor is like completely twisting gravity, but the rats are running along at no bother. At the end, you can see this sputtering green sphincter, as Jackdaw described it. That it's like the rats are appearing in midair and they're flopping to the floor and then running along.
Wow. Okay. Could I do a flashback?
I would love to see it. Yeah, please.
I would like to do a flashback of where Murmur gets the chats with. Since they're from like a demon place, would they be able to chat with? Like, I know I have a demon friend. They don't like me that much, but Satara or any other demon?
Yeah, of course. Let me see. In your context, Satara is like not your friend, so maybe not someone you want to be talking to, not the team you want to be talking to. But you definitely you come from a place where everyone talks to demons, and your family has a long history of talking to demons. So this flashback could be 2 years ago if you wanted.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I would like to basically be chatting with like a demon of gluttony, essentially. So that so it's like one of like the way I'm thinking of it is like Satara and like other demons would have been like around my family, and we would have talked to them and made pacts, and that one might have been a pact that like didn't work out, so that's why we're enemies. But then this other demon, the one that's like just a glutton for anything and everything, is one that I had contact with, and I've made some sort of like contact with them, and where I'm like, be like, hey, if I find anything real big and juicy for you, well, I'll call you.
Excellent. So you're talking to this demon in the past, and it is a glutton demon. Let's call it Slurbergert.
Slurbergert, I love it.
I'm going to write that down because I will forget. Slurbergert is like a real old school demon's demon. He constantly refers to you as prey, and doesn't bother manifesting their entire being into this world. So
it's the mouth.
It's just the mouth, yeah. So you're just talking to this giant, it's like a mouth that gravy is constantly pouring out of, but it's definitely not gravy. And Slurbergert is mess. Of course, you give me what I want, and you get what you want. And that's flashback. Is there any particular question you have for Slurbergert?
Do you like rats?
This is like in the past. So what kind of, do you like rats?
Yeah, I'd be like, what's your favorite thing to eat? Like, do you like to eat a one really big juicy thing, or a multitude of like smaller things that is just nonstop, like infinite buffet?
A smorgasbord is always welcome.
And that's what, like, in the Flash, like, that's what triggers the Flash. Like, I'm like, man, that's a lot of rats. Oh, I know someone who likes a lot of things.
I do feel bad for whichever demon summoner would summon that, and they've just got you carpets and like, oh, I've summoned you carpets. Oh, come on, that better not be gravy. Don't worry, it's not.
That's why you have a dedicated summoning room with just all stone. And like a drain at the bottom, like there's a stone shower room.
Wipes clean. Just a packet of baby wipes on every table. Yes. So you could try and attune and talk to Slurbergert if you want now.
Cool. Would I be able to command them?
How much stress do you get from the flashback?
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
It's only a 1 stress flashback.
Fair.
It's long ago. So.
I'm down to attune. I could also command them as, but I'm down to just attune.
You could 100% command Slurbergert to come eat rats.
Good, that's what I will do.
Now, demons are kind of a pain in the ass. every deal or interaction you have with demon is desperate, because at the end of the day they can just suck your soul out of your body, and that's just Tuesday night for them.
That's why you keep Demon's Bane Charm on you.
Yes, so that will give you greater effect. So you have a Demon Bane Charm. It was going to be Desperate Limited. It's now Desperate Standard.
Nice.
And I like to imagine demons as having much the same attitude as like a very well looked after house cat. They kind of, if only if it suits them, you know. So how do you command a demon to appear for you?
So here we go. Murmur just like throws their cloak back, has their arms outstretched, and starts calling out to
Slurbergert.
Slurbergert. And it's like, by the Vine family name, Slurbergert, I call upon you to feast upon this infinite smorgasbord of rats that stands in my way.
Okay. A desperate roll. Standard effect.
I can't believe you just Pokemon'd a demon.
And we'll see how it goes.
All right, my command's the best thing I got. It's 3, so we'll see. A 6, a 1, and a 4.
In typical fashion, you have like you've cleared an area, you've drawn the circle for Slurbergert to appear in, and you've done everything right, and you hear them behind you, because they're a dick and they just want to show you that they don't like circles. So like when you're like and Slurbergert goes, what have we got here? Oh, I see you found an old god. Oh, I love this. A bit rich for my taste.
What? Never rich enough for you.
I'll clear the rat problem, but I won't go near the god themselves. We have a bit of a long-standing deal.
That's okay. As long as you eat the rats, I'm happy.
And then you see this, like, it looks like a vacuum bag, if it was made out of, like, goo, and has, like, hundreds of legs, all different sizes, just running around and, like, hoovering the floor of rats. The entire mire starts to be cleared out by this, and making a noise you wish you could forget, like the noise you make when you're eating ramen, you know.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
like so loud and so many times per second. So so good to have you back at this exact moment. But within like minutes, the mire is there's definitely less rats around here, and the rats are here like, oh my god, it's time to run. While Slurbergert is like suctioning the floor of rats. Excellent. Okay.
Thank you, Slurb.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
So you have potentially begun to solve the rat problem, but at the end of this corridor,
yeah,
the green sphincter is still out more rats. Not at the rate that he couldn't eat them all, but you're still gonna have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Is the demon like also taking like the dirt in between the cobblestones and like the rat feces and going like, you guys aren't going to eat that, are you? Like,
yeah, no, pretty much
have that.
everything that's been left here, like, you know, and things you wish he wouldn't, you know, almost like a dog, interested in exactly the opposite of food.
And
the one thing you don't want them to be eating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck trying to get Slurbergert to drop something. Okie dokie.
Surely it's just a matter of waiting long enough.
Yeah, potentially there will be a point where Slurbergert is under the green thing eating, but eventually Slurbergert will move on to greener pastures because that won't be enough to sustain them.
Yeah. Well, Murmur looks around and says, that worked, and now we just gotta, I mean, he said he's not gonna eat the sphincter at the end. We'll have to deal with that, and I'm sure he'll get tired of eating rats. So that looks over to Slab. Think we can burn? Then we can just. I mean, I feel like a sphincter being burned is going to be a very unhappy sphincter and might stop spewing out rats.
Hey, well, wait a second. Didn't that weird mouth guy say that was a god? I don't know that fire is going to do much to a god.
That does sound quite risky.
Well, we can't. Do you want to just leave it there, or do you want to try to? I mean, we can't even look at it without falling off our toes.
Well,
Can I walk down towards this rat sphincter, Josh?
Yeah, of course.
Is this the
100%.
thing that they're telling you? That he's telling me is a god.
Yeah.
While they're doing that, can I also survey the scene?
Yeah, of course. Be my guest. Roll. It's a controlled survey. You're not in much danger because Slurbergard's handling most of the rats, and you have cleared out enough rattlers that I honestly thought was going to kill you. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Amazing.
Pat, what are you looking for?
I want to see some sort of way that we can resolve the issue of there being an old god here. Potentially, I don't know, ancient ruins with writing on them. Some sort of.
You realize
device.
that the mire is a perfect example of the lasagna that is Duskfall. It's an open pit mine, and yes, it certainly is a gem mine, but the gems appeared here post Cataclysm, so after the event that ended the world essentially. And this is just like you can look around and you see that they're removing mud from like between buildings and streets. They're digging down into a city, and like the first session you guys had where you were just under the city in another part of the city, that's what you're in. The mire is just very deep at the moment, and it's in a very old part of the city. So whatever god this is, or whatever creature is down there, it's a very old one.
Do I know any way to figure out how to
I don't think
shut this
I don't
tunnel
think
off?
I don't think you would be able to like even read the languages that are there if you could see them. Does that make sense? I know you rolled a 6, and I am impressed by that. I will tell you anything you want to know. But
I'm just trying
plug it
to see if there's some sort of mechanism that looks like it's glowing or something that's moving that shouldn't be, or maybe.
No, the main
some sort
interest
of button.
is the tunnel itself. The tunnel itself has like glowing text as you go down it. But again, it's a language you can't read, and you're just watching Slab kind of penguin walk down the tunnel.
Oh wait, there's writing on the wall.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll read that.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been able to read that since Flashback.
Excellent.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, I
Tell
made
me-
myself a promise that whenever you introduced a new language, that I was going to take a flashback to learn it.
Yeah, so it is one of the oldest languages in Duskfall, and you will identify it. I'm going to get you to take, I think, 2 stress for this intensive language course because you had to work 2 jobs to pay for this language course, and which is about the most I make people take. But
You are
it
kind.
is- yeah, it is. It's like let me see. It's what will we call it? Yeah, it directly translates as wet tongue, and it's like a really old language. You don't know from how far back, but you do know that on the language course there was essentially only 6 books they had of wet tongue, and so once you had finished all 6, that was it. Those were all the words you could know. So even though you do know this language, you don't know every word because you imagine if you'd learned English from 6 books,
Yeah.
and one of them was an engineering manual. So you get this kind of the gist you're getting is that this is like a cage that was used to seal someone, and you can't read the name. There's too many letters you don't know in the name. Away because they brought plague, and you're looking at the gaping hole that was clearly knocked into by unsuspecting Scoville miners, and the rats pouring out around you. That's the most you can pick up from this. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know?
Yes. Is there anything that would give me a hint as to how this thing could be closed or defeated?
Yes. Tie the tails.
Tie the tails.
Oh, for rats.
What, you mean like make a rat king?
Possibly.
And then throw it in the hole?
Possibly.
Oi, Jack!
Yeah, what do you got there, Slab?
Says we gotta tie the tails.
All right. Jackdaw jumps down into the rats as they're coming out, and he starts grabbing them up and tying their tails in knots. How many of these do I got to do there, Slab?
It sounds like a finesse roll, if ever I heard one. Catching. Hello, how many rats do you want Jackdaw to catch?
$2d6.
Six rats? Yep. Then I think risky and effect standard.
Jackdaw is going to push it, as you would expect, because
Shocker.
he's pushing himself into the tunnel to try to get them right as they're coming out, and he's not stopping at 6. He's not stopping until he gets this entire tunnel clogged with tied up rats.
As you try to catch the rats, the entire tunnel starts to shake before you ever roll for it, and the green sphincter starts coming down.
Hey guys, I think we're onto something here. This is going to be awesome.
I don't think it's working.
Yeah, it's in fact, the entire tunnel is shaking and it's moving out, and more of these vermin are spilling out, and they're suddenly paying attention specifically to Jackdaw.
I'm gonna stick the flamethrower
Jackdaw's
in the sphincter.
You're gonna which?
Stick the flamethrower in the sphincter. It's not the rat's fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. I don't even know what you would roll for that.
I haven't a clue.
I don't think we do.
Wreck.
Yeah, possibly wreck. Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, I'm going to assist.
Heresy.
Yeah.
I'll
Blasphemy.
cover you.
Okay. Yes, please. Go for it.
Right, so if I'm rolling wreck, I am very definitely going to take a devil's bargain on this.
Okay. The devil's bargain is it speaks to you.
Okay.
Not just now.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
I will take that. All right, so I'm wrecking. Now, I don't have any points in wreck, which is a concern. Position?
Desperate.
Of course. Effect?
Standard.
I get 1 extra dice from the devil's bargain.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm assisting.
Oh, I get 2 extra dice.
Oh, 2
then.
extra dice. There you go.
Phew, that's actually some dice then.
Yeah, the second you put the nozzle of the flamethrower in, it starts to be pulled, and you're pulled towards the hole. And in your head, immediately you hear, "What have we done to you?"
I think I'm going to try and ignore it and pull out some demolition tools. No, that's actually not much good. That's like a sledgehammer and spikes. That's rubbish. I don't want to do that. I was thinking.
Yeah, everyone always thinks demo tools are like blasting charges.
But it's not blasting charges at all, is it?
In fairness, I wouldn't want a sledgehammer and spikes near any part of my body, but especially not a part that pops things out of things.
Very
It's
true.
true. Yeah.
Did he actually pull the trigger on the flamethrower? I mean, is it shooting flames for 3
No,
minutes?
it's pulling it so that this flamethrower is being pulled in. You're either going to have to let go of it or be pulled in with it.
Again,
I'm gonna
would not
fire.
want a flamethrower near our
You're gonna fire? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire it.
And then, like, not mad, but like, typical. What have we done to you?
Hello, voice. Nothing personal. I understand you're a golden doll, but this is a people place now.
We were happy, and then you woke us. What have we done to you?
They're not bright, are they? I must admit. Is there an alternative way that we can resolve this?
Put us back.
It certainly seems preferable to the alternative. How do I do that? Please explain.
Let me see. We'll roll fortune dice.
Me or you?
Bit of both. That's a success, so it goes for you. It says, tie the tails. Don't touch my children.
Oh, not the rats. Tie the tails. Tie the tails. Tie the tails. Not the rats. Tie the tails. Close the tunnels. Is that what you mean? Blow the tunnels.
Tie the tails.
Right, I think I'm missing something as Ben here. Can I study as Slab to work out what he means?
Of course you can. Yeah.
Okay, position?
Risky.
Ooh.
I'm going to push that to desperate.
Effect great, so.
And it's studying.
Yep,
Would I be
desperate
able
studying.
to? Would I be able to assist?
Yeah, for sure. You might even speak a bit of the language that Ben is reading. I've given too much away already. Look
How
at
much
that.
stress do you have now, Tyler?
I have 3 points of, or I have 3 blanks of stress right now, and helping
we're getting
gives
there.
me 1.
And
There we go.
Oh, I
You
didn't add. I didn't add a dice for Tyler. Sorry.
Oh,
That's okay.
well, that's
Well,
okay. I'll remove
would you like
that
to
point.
roll another?
No, I've got the 6. I don't need anything. more.
You're looking around, and then Slab is like, I'm an idiot. All the text going down the walls is stories about vermin.
Yeah.
But the end of the corridor that has been destroyed, they're not finished because this text goes backwards. It goes from right to left. So as it comes out of the corridor, they've all been ended badly. There's no tying them up. if you would,
Guys,
basically.
the stories don't end. That's unfortunate. I've got this flamethrower that's going for 3 minutes now.
Yes, the tunnel is getting really warm.
Yeah.
All right. Right. Gang, here's what we need to do. It's not tails on the rats. It's tails as in stories, tails. Ridiculous tautological use of phraseology. Frankly, I'm surprised that it even works in the... Never mind, getting sidetracked. However, that said, we need to finish off these tales that are written on the walls. They don't end, so we need to end the tales. I'm assuming that's going to require carving, so that's going to mean, Whisper, that you and I are probably going to have to do this. Jackdaw, be a good chap, would you? And run this flamethrower very far away. Try not to hit any of the rats. It might explode.
So that flamethrower that's currently burning your skin, you want me to take it and run it away because you shot it down that tunnel? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's the one, yes.
All right, I'm in. Let's do this.
I was like, is he gonna say no? Yeah, that's. I mean, what are we gonna roll for that? Running with a flamethrower. I mean, probably it's a prowl or a finesse.
And that's because I'm trying to keep it up away from rats and away from my body.
It's a desperate finesse with standard effect.
Ooh, boy. What could go wrong? I mean, just burning off my arms, nothing like that. I'm going to push myself because I still only have 1 stress at the moment. So what the heck?
And then vaguely
Why not?
insulting. Oh, look at that. So you do get slightly burned. So you'll fill out a level 1 arm.
I'm going to resist that. What the
There
hell?
you go.
Let's resist it.
Yeah. Oh, you already have a sprained arm in your level 1 arm. So yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it would fill that out.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to resist it. So I'll roll my prowess for resisting.
Ooh.
5 stress. There you go. That solved that problem.
Yeah.
So you don't get burned,
Wow.
but you guys watch as it's like Benny Hill theme tune you can think of.
Full
It's
Keystone on the Gas.
like, like swing, and the hose is just like helicoptering above him as he's running, and he's like being very careful not to kill any of the rats.
I don't like this at all, Slap. This is not a good thing. But okay,
And-
I'll get it out of here.
And remember, like, the way a flamethrower works, it's not like an aerosol can that sprays out a gas that's on fire. It's a liquid that's burning. So
Yeah.
it's probably rats going, oh, Jesus, there's little bits of, like, flaming oil or, like, dripping. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Thankfully, Slurberger slurped up most of the rats. So,
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
yeah, that won't come back to bite you guys in the bum at all. Yeah, so Murmur, we'll fade a little bit on this, and we'll come back towards it's like a couple hours later, and you guys are like going through the story, and then she fell down the well. Yeah, that rhymes. Great. Okay, put a full stop. Yeah, there's as you have finished each line of text, the sphincter has gotten smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually it's just gotten, and a single rat is coming out being like, "Oh, what?" And eventually, it is you're getting to the last line of text, and then Slab in your head hears, "And now, I'll bring them home." And all of a sudden, you hear this kind of like thundering of a million tiny feet. Don't freak out the weight. And Tyler, in your head, you hear the most dreadful wail. A wail on a level you've never heard before, followed by the phrase, "Liar!" And in front of you in the mine, just in the kind of smoldering ashes of the BMX park that was just destroyed by Jackdaw running around with flamethrower, and the most inflated gooey vacuum bag falls to the ground, and like with this bump, and just starts vomiting millions of rats that all go straight back down the corridor and run, and they all jump, like pile back into the green sphincter, and it's thundering, and then as loud as it was, it's now suddenly quiet. There's not a rat to be seen for miles. Slurberger's lying on the ground going, "I'll make you pay for this, mama," and licks the side of your face. Disappears.
Okay. Sounds good. I mean, they would have just licked the mask. Or
That's why you wear the mask.
yeah.
You might want to get a shot for that. Or a
The mask
leech.
is fine. No, never a leech. No. Well, that so now it's just like cool. No more rats. And what's down the tunnel? If you look down the tunnel, is it just empty now?
It's just a regular cavern now.
With are the tails still on them or no?
No, it's just a little rectangular corridor.
Right, so we need to stop them from being able to go back down there, really. Otherwise, this is all just going to kick off again in 2 weeks' time when they try and reopen the tunnel. Structurally unsound? Possessed by ghosts?
Possessed by ghosts? We could. Sure. I mean, Murmur points to the crazy ghost grandma who is now probably unable to find any rats to eat. And it's just
But then the spirit ones will just come down here and clear the place out if it's possessed by ghosts.
Oh,
I think this is an excellent opportunity for Saul to do a bit of showmanship and trickery. How would you make people not go down a mine shaft?
Well, I do have a question. So, it's obvious that the law enforcement of this area didn't really care to fix the problem, and without like needing to roll, it's just kind of obvious they were either hoping it would blow over if they just didn't get involved, because it doesn't sound like they were involved. So, would they send a spirit warden? Like, if we made it a really nasty ghost, like a
Spirit
really
warden-
like fuck you
Yeah,
ghost.
spirit wardens aren't part of like the blue coats.
Okay,
Their entire
alright.
entire imperial mandate is to destroy ghosts. And
All right.
But
Okay.
once they're identified, they go in anywhere.
Yeah.
They're
Eventually-
such a high tier that they can crush virtually anything.
I've got it.
Oh yeah.
I've got it. Sol,
Okay.
I know what you
Right.
need to do here. You're Severosi. Yes.
Scovelander.
Scovelander, them too.
Scovelander.
It racist Ben, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
I'm
a Scovelander.
right.
Your
Yeah.
countrymen here are Scovelanders. You know the
Yes.
stories from your homeland. They know the stories from your homeland. What's the one
Right.
taboo, beastie, goblin monster that they absolutely would not want to go anywhere near? That would guarantee that no Scovelander would go down that tunnel whether they were told to or not.
Oh,
If you can
okay.
convince them that what we had to deal with down there was something from your home country that they brought with them that's really angry, and
Wait, I'm
maybe we could
wait,
like
I'm
put a bit of
confused.
makeup, blood or something on you and make out that it attacked you.
Wait, so we're just trying to get the Scovelanders not to go down here. We're
They're
not
the
trying to
majority
stop-
of the people that work in there.
Why-
And if
why
they
don't we
spread
just-
the
Why don't we just tell
superstition,
them what? But why don't we just tell them what happened? Why do you need to lie?
You could try.
Why don't we just? Well, I don't know. Like they
Because
saw
you're an
rats
actor, dear boy.
puppeteering corpses. I feel like if we go by
Yeah,
the way,
yeah,
then there's
totally
something
makes sense.
spread
Yeah.
out.
Just hey, there's a
I was
forgotten god
for-
down there.
Well, yeah, for context, what now I was thinking was we were going to have problems for the people who take the shit from them. Because if they go, oh, there's this section we don't go into, and they go, well, we'll send someone down there, we'll just replace you because they sound like shitty
Yeah.
people.
So
That's
the
why I was,
way
yeah.
the way I look at the mire is it's a big open mine and you get a job there. But it's like many of these places, and the masters of the mire are Scovelanders that have just been there longer, and the accountants are the ones who are Akarosi. They're the ones who they don't care as long as the profits are right.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, like, and this probably would be a role, is this area rich in material that they need?
That's a great. I think it's a role. So it sounds either like a study or a survey.
I'll do the one that I know how to do. which
That sounds
would
good
be-
to me.
Oh, I know how to do both. So I'll go for
Up to you.
Eeny, Meeny, Mo study.
Okay, study. So you've one dice on that. Position is controlled. But
Yep.
your effect is only limited because not all the gems are
I'm
just
just-
sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
So you could push it to risky, and you tell me how you'd make it risky, and you get standard effect. And you can push yourself 2 stress to go second time.
I'm not sure how I could make it risky. Like maybe
Could I assist maybe to give a bonus?
Yeah, for sure. You could just start digging with your hands.
Okay, well, I'll definitely take the assist. I'm trying to think because I need to be fair. If I'm trying to make it risky, I need to like.
lick the walls.
No, I was gonna say eat some of the dirt, like you know.
Or
Okay,
as
I
you're
guess that would be-
moving dirt around, you're potentially destabilizing that area.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So you
Pull
can
on
get
a crystal and
fall
have a
do
rock
some
fall on your
damage to
head,
yourself, or-
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So the effect is still limited with the risky. Yeah.
I think so. I know the effect is if you go up to risky is now standard.
Cool. And okay, and I don't get any bonus die.
You
One.
can push yourself for 2 stress.
Okay.
Oh no, you've got a bonus die for an assist. Yeah, so you
Cool.
take that.
I will roll. I got 5 and a 1.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling from what you see that the mire is really deep now, and if you look at the strata of the mire, it goes down like this, and then it goes wide like that into caverns, and then it comes down, and it's getting like narrower and narrower. You're not really finding much down here anyway anymore.
Okay, so yeah, like after investigating, so I'll just be like, let's just tell them the truth. They won't what will and like they can send a person down here to look. They'll know better than us on a
Yeah.
site basis that there's fuck all here. And then, so long as nobody that's Taikarose comes down to look, we'll be fine. You know.
Yeah,
Your,
absolutely.
Your idea has balls. Yeah. Unconventional, telling the truth.
Right.
Never really
I was
seen
gonna
it
say-
work, but we could certainly give it a go. Good idea.
Like, yeah.
Hiding
know.
behind the truth. It's groundbreaking.
Like a whole new type of crime. Excellent. So we'll fade to black, and you guys are all back in the ghetto with Ulf in his office, and he's like, it was crazy. The rattlers were closing in on the area. We didn't know what they wanted. Every time we knocked them down, just more rats got back into the corpses and started piling them. And then as soon as they came, just left. What did you just do?
Well, I mean, you're gonna have to kind of take us out. We're gonna have to go on a limb here and just say everything we're saying is true and not addled by any substance or fear.
I shot a god in the arsehole with a flamethrower.
Well, it could have been an esophagus
Yeah,
or
and-
some other orifice.
And I'm here to tell you, that didn't work. And then I had to run this damn flamethrower all over the place till it stopped burning up petroleum. I didn't like that at all, Slab. I'm here to tell you that I'm feeling a little salty over that one, but I'm gonna let it go because you're my buddy.
Right. Anyway, Sol,
Yes.
you're the storyteller. You could tell him what happened.
I mean, that's like the main Cliff Notes version. There was some rattlers. They were shot by Ash, and then we went down there. This is nice, Sam. We're gonna omit the demon summoning because that's probably just generally not something you
I
want to
think
bring
people
up
get upset
in
about it.
polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to, sail murmur down the river. So yeah, there was the arsehole with the flamethrower and that. We had to do a little bit of, English with the whole finishing a tale to stop the Forgotten God's curse. And yeah, it seems like the god was a bit upset about that and was making its babies, which were the rats. I don't think that's worth thinking about too much. So the long story short is you can't go back in that part of the mine because you'll re-summon the pooping rat Forgotten Gods probably. I mean, you can send. I did a check and there wasn't a lot of stuff. You can send a guy down there to check. I'm gonna have to sway him, aren't I?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Our consort.
Or consort. Yeah. Is this risky?
Yeah, risky. Yeah.
Standard effect.
Yeah, standard effect.
I'm
Cool.
going to give you an assist from the other part of my foresight by
Okay.
pulling out an outfit that somehow helps.
Go, girls out. Ha! What do you think of that?
Maybe it's
I
a
definitely
Scovelander
look-
tartan that would have an effect on winning him over, that it might be like an allied family kind of thing.
It's like a gift you're giving him.
Yeah, I think a gift would make more sense because it.
Rather than like Saul having gone to the mines and come back in like full regalia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
that might read a bit wrong. I'm definitely serious.
Whose corpse did you steal that from? Put that back. Yeah, okay.
But I think that's a good idea though. Having like, oh shit, what if can you do foresight to have taken etchings? You could etch the tail to show
like
the old
rubbing.
super old rubbing. That's the word.
Yeah.
To show the old language and be like, do you know what this says? No, exactly. That's a dead language.
Great.
from a
Okay,
god
perfect.
that-
Love that. Okay, so there's your
Okay.
free dice from that. Risky standard. You can push as a desperate for great effect.
Yeah, why not? Because
And yeah, that sounds good to me. Bit of
Yeah,
bonus
'cause
dice.
because it is because we need this to work because otherwise all our hard work just goes down the toilet. So yep. Yay! I got 1-6.
It's
So
like
Yep.
it's this really awkward pause where like he's leaning back on his desk and he's looking at you and he goes, if any of the other guys told me this, I'd probably have broken their legs.
Yeah,
I don't think you have it in you to lie.
yeah, I don't lie much. Or
You're
at all.
gonna have to work on that, son.
Yeah, I've been told. Yeah.
Look, I'll do what I can to keep them out of there. Truth be told, the Myers had its day.
That's what I said. Tell him he's cursed.
Yeah, well, look. People think Scotlanders are thick. They just don't listen. They just don't listen to us. It's easy to think anyone's thick if you're not listening to them. They call you strangers. You know, Tycho Rossi always called strangers in this city. You can't always be a stranger. That makes no bloody sense.
I don't know. Jack's pretty strange.
Yeah, to be
Hey
fair.
now,
Jack's there
That's
like
fair.
two
That's fair.
singed,
That's
no eyebrows left.
Still,
Make a very
some
good argument
smoldering
there,
on the
Slab.
shoulder, just like, ah.
Right, well, I think that solves that. You can wait out the quarantine here with us and you can go about your business. There's just the matter of payment.
That's right. Now, and we were talking about setting up a permanent sort of route for you there. You were going to give us that Ragtown dock over there at the far end, and we were going to help ferry you some supplies in and out, even after the quarantine, to give you a little extra coin.
Yeah, I think that's mutually beneficial. You're very discreet. I like that. The flamethrower part, I don't know, maybe less of that next time.
Well, you know, discretion
with
to
you.
a point.
Yeah,
No more
that's true.
flamethrowers there, Slab.
That was rubbish.
So the options you have here are you can gain some turf, right? Now we've a choice of turf, and there's loads of things to choose from. And turf is loads of fun because it gives you benefits, but it's kind of like a daisy chain. You have to work your way along certain things. So your options at the moment are luxury fence. You get 2 coin for high class targets. The only way I could see that working is because you're ferrying gems, but I'm not so sure. And the other option you have in turf is, I'm after closing the page, is a fleet. Your cohort have their own vehicles. Perhaps you have turned a load of Scotlanders, you've given them like what looks like a viable job, just running cargo for you guys.
Do we have to take the luxury fence or the fleet, or can we take one of the sides that says turf and then one of the things next to
So
them?
it says turf, and anything beyond that, if you want. So you could go to a vice den or a cover operation or informants or a side business. But they'd be 2 turfs away.
Ah, right, with you. So we can only go 1 turf's distance.
Yeah, it's like a net.
Well, we could take one of the turfs, either to the left or the right, and then once you take it, a turf that just says turf, it reduces the amount of rep you have to take to go up. So I would vote going to the turf to the left, so we can make our way down to secret routes eventually and improve our engagement rolls.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Are we all happy with that?
They are words sequenced in sentences. I will nod and smile.
What we'll do is on the gang sheet, Ragtown Docks is the name of that turf.
Love it.
Lovely. And you have gone up in favour with Ulf Ironborn. You're up +1 to him. And he's going to pay you 10 coin for this. That's 2 coin a pop.
Yowza.
He's delighted. This couldn't have gone better. And Saul, as you're leaving the office just before the heist fades out, he turns to you and goes, "You've done a lot of good in this city. It's a mean place. I mean, look at me. I thought I was running a refugee center, and now I'm a terrorist. We need people like you, son."
Couldn't have done it without the people behind me. So
That's true. That's absolutely true. I suppose every toolkit needs a hammer. slap on the back. And like a corkscrew, and he looks at Jack Doll.
Corkscrew, I like that. That's about me.
Looks at Ash and is like, and a repeater rifle. And looks at Murmur and goes, and hunted mousetrap.
I think you might have lost the metaphor.
Yeah, I went too far with that one, didn't I? Yeah. They're always saying I'm doing that. You guys see? I'm sure he's fine. Look, you're always welcome in Dunslough.
Pleasure
Thank you,
doing
that's
business.
Good luck getting back after the quarantine. I suspect in only 3 or 4 days. That'll be the end of this.
Yeah, we'll head on back. It won't be a problem.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Well done on that heist.
He didn't die.
Dealt with a deep and a forgotten god, and 12 enemies single-handedly, Pat. Very impressive. So we talk about rep, payoff, and downtime. We've done the payoff, and we will look at rep. I know this is kind of the spreadsheets part of the game, but I quite like it. We've got payoff and heat.
I like it.
In terms of heat, so heat is divided into 4 different sections. So smooth, quiet, low exposure, contained, standard exposure, loud, chaotic, high exposure, wild, devastating exposure. Given that this happened in a district that was quarantined, no one saw you going into it. Everything that happened here, the people will always have your back. I'd say it's either smooth and quiet, low exposure, or contained and standard exposure. What do you guys think?
I think low exposure, because I think you're right. I think everybody who knows is on our side anyway.
Yeah.
So we just look at then the next questions. Were they a high-profile target? No. Did it happen on hostile turf? Not necessarily hostile. Just not your turf. Were you at war with another faction? No. Was killing involved? You didn't kill a single person. So well done. So you've gained 0 heat from this, which is great because our engagement roll, which I'm going to make now, is affected by your heat level. Oh, cool! I can do that. That didn't work. 0. Okay, I'm just gonna take the first one of those. That's fab. Okie dokie. And then we talk about rep. So your crew earns 2 rep per score by default. And let me just double check if no one. Yeah, if you keep the operation completely quiet so no one knows about you, you gain 0 rep. But Ulf knew, and other people knew. So you get 2 rep by default, and then you take 1 rep per tier higher. I'm going to say Forgotten God is 2 tiers higher than you. If the target and score is lower tier, you take nothing. Yeah, so you guys get 4 rep for this. So your gang is going up in the world.
Now, our rep is already maxed with that.
Yeah, perfect. So we can talk about leveling up the gang in a second. But what I think we'll do before we do that is let people take their downtime, and then we'll talk about that. Because there's only about 15 minutes left, and I think what we can do is we can do that in the chat or the Discord, picking our crew advancements and things like that. And if this is a gang you want to persist with, I know Aaron has new characters, new gang, probably a very different city. Everyone who runs Duskfall, it's a different version of Duskfall. So it's really nice like that. And yes, what are you doing for our final downtime of season 1? I know some of you started projects. Who would like to start their downtime?
You want to do XP?
Murmur.
We do downtime?
Oh yeah, let's do XP. Thank you, Aaron. I'm so glad you're here. So we look at our.
Yeah.
Sorry, Murmur, you're gonna have to hold.
That's okay.
So we look at our gang. Do we execute a successful smuggling? Yes, we did. You get an XP for that. 10 with challenges above your current station. Yes, an XP for that. Bolster your crew's reputation, develop a new one. Yes, you gain turf and XP for that. Express your goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. Yeah, you handled weird stuff. I'll give you an XP for that. Fantastic. So you're getting closer to your crew advancement. And then we'll go through individual people. So if you look at your own sheet and you go down below your special abilities, you will have your XP triggers. You've marked off your own desperate actions. Address the challenge with stealth or evasion. Aaron, I think you get 2 for that. You did a lot of stealthing around. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, background. Again, I think you get 2 for that. I don't think there was a single role you push further. Struggle with issues from your vice or trauma. Your trauma is reckless. So yeah, I'll give you 1 for that for sure.
Good job.
Fantastic. And then we'll go to Murmur. I'm just going down the list as I have them. Murmur, you have a full playbook advancement.
Yes.
So you can choose a new ability. Now, there's no pressure to do that right now, but you can choose the new ability from the list, or you can choose what's called the veteran ability. You can look through other character lists and choose one.
I know what I'm going to go with Warden.
You may expand your special armor to resist supernatural consequence and push yourself when you you deal with arcane forces. Love it. Perfect.
I need to be protected from this demon that wants to eat my face.
Yeah, it's a good call. No brigade skillman. Okay, you addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power at least twice. So you give yourself from that. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, background. A lot of background work in this. I'll give you one for that. Struggled with issues from your vice or trauma. What's your vice?
My vice is faith, which is dealing with demons.
I'll give you one for that. Yeah, I don't think you necessarily engage with obsessed, but I like.
No, I did not.
That's great. Okay, we will fly then. The next person on my list is Saul. Yes, you've ticked away. Addressed a challenge with deception or influence.
Influence at the end.
Influence? Yes, influence. Absolutely, you can get one for that. Expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, background. I think you get two for that. There was a lot of talk about being a Scovelander and all of that. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. What is your vice, Nye? What's Saul's vice?
You like reading books, specifically very rare books that are hard to find.
Right. Okay. So it's like overindulgence. I don't think you did that. Or your traumas. You don't have a trauma yet. Look at you. Fantastic. And then we will go down to the next is Pat playing Ash. Pat, address the challenge of tracking your violence. Yeah, I get two for that. Pat, you filled out your playbook advancement, so you get to choose a new skill if you'd like.
Yeah, so I took a lot of desperate actions this session with that sustained shooting bout.
Yes, that is true. So you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, and background. Yeah, I think the fact that you were like, you guys go on ahead of me. I like shooting things. I'm going to give you two for that because in the previous session, which we're still marking this off, you took that as well. And you struggled with issues with your vice or trauma. You don't have a trauma. What's your vice, Ash?
She gets drinks. She drinks to forget, but I don't think she particularly did that much.
And now is when you tell me, and she was drunk the whole time.
I'm gonna take another two stress for that.
Slab. Every time you roll a desperate action, you've marked those away.
No, I haven't done the last one. So
good stuff.
That's an insight. Oh, I've got my insight maxed out.
Yeehaw! So you get to put a dot into anything you like in insight. You can bring them up to 3.
I think I'm going to put my survey up, actually.
Lovely. That's a really utilitarian skill, certainly. You addressed a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. I'll let you have 2 for that. You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, background. I think the part where you kind of drop the mask around Ulf, I'm willing to give you 1 for that. You struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. Your vice is like obligation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an obligation to Taikarosi.
Yeah.
Quite specifically, though. So the only Taikarosi with us were the people in the gang.
Yeah, so I don't think so. But that's great. And is that everyone? That looks like it's everyone.
Yep, but that has also got me a full playbook advancement.
Excellent. What are you going to choose for us?
I am going to take functioning vice. No, I'm not. I'm going to take calculating.
Calculating?
Yes, during careful planning, during downtime, you can give yourself or another crew member +1 downtime action.
That's amazing. That's great. It means if someone's injured, you can basically give them a free roll, or if they're stressed out, you can give them advice. Now, Ben, I'm going to give you a bit of a devil's bargain here. You spoke to the god. And that was quite a haunting thing, like on many levels. There is a perk for those of you at home on page 234 called The Closing of the Eye. And what's happened is you've looked into the worst versions of the world and you've seen like a vermin spewing sphincter, the terrifying entity that it was. And so the devil's bargain I'll give you is you will need to take a level of trauma, your trauma of choice, and you'll get this skill called The Closing the Eye. You no longer suffer stress, terror from the supernatural. You can choose to take only 1 stress when you resist mental, electroplasmic, or spiritual harm, regardless of the result you roll.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal to me.
Great. Okay. And what trauma are you going to take?
I think I might just take paranoid.
My favorite one. You had to get me!
They're out there. There's things out there. Things beyond our understanding, but also people beyond our power, and they're out to get us. They're out to get me specifically.
Yes, and the best part about being paranoid is sometimes you're correct.
Yeah.
So
where do I put that thing?
Your traumas you just tick away, and then if you write the closing of the eye as a skill, I will. You see, there's like a little add a skill. I'll add that
Under special abilities.
Special abilities. Sorry, that's the word. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I'll fill in the fluff text between sessions. Okay, great. Who would like to take their first downtime action? Murmur, you, I think, are at 9 stress? Or you're close, are you?
I'm currently at a total of 6 stress.
Oh, that's not so bad. Okay,
yeah,
excellent.
That's fine. I'm gonna use my first downtime to continue my activity of trying to figure out my face skills at possession.
Yes, okay, perfect. So it sounds like an attune. Roll me an attune roll. Always risky. Effects damage.
Okay. 1 and a 5.
Excellent, so you can take 2 in your clock.
Perfect.
Great.
Would I be able to do my second one as that as well?
Yeah, you can spend both actions on a project.
That's what I will do. Considering that we just saw an old one, that's terrifying stuff. 3 and a 3.
So nothing.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Okay, we'll go across to Pat. Pat, what is Ash doing?
So, how do we reduce stress again?
You indulge your vice. Pat
That
is
sounds about right.
is 1 away from a trauma.
Well, actually, I have a survivor, which gives me. I'm not quite as close as it looks. I have.
Oh
one
yes,
more,
you get an additional stress. Okay.
but I don't know how to.
Yeah,
make that
you're
happen.
still. Yeah, I'm not sure how to make that function on the sheet. but
It's
I
not
don't know.
particularly important.
Yes, Pat, you go and indulge your vice. And then what happens is, see just above the traumas, there's a little button that says indulge vice. It will roll that. It will take, you'll get 1 dice because it goes out of your lowest attribute. And whatever that is, you take it away from your stress.
Ooh.
It's like you're gonna indulge again.
Yeah. So you take 1 stress away. The first round of drinks just doesn't quite cut it. In fact, you realize you're not going to solve this drinking beer.
I need something stronger.
Excellent.
This is a rubbing alcohol kind of night.
Yeah.
All
Maldive.
right. Yep. That's my downtime.
Okay,
I
that's your
suppose.
first action. Would you like to do a second action?
I mean, I suppose I can't do that twice in a row.
Oh, you can. Yeah, you can indulge your
Oh,
vice.
well,
That's
all
amazing.
right, okay, all right. Let's score this then. Indulge vice a second time.
Here we
Press
go.
that button. Okay. Come on. Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
Oh, damn.
Somebody's
Pat,
gonna be starting the next dice pretty stressed out.
You awake the following day in an unfamiliar environment, having slept on the tavern table, and you've got the cold sweat of a hangover, and you look up and the barman's approaching you like, hey, you need to go, and you just for a split second see him as made entirely out of rats. And it undoes all of the good the last night did, so you've only reduced a single point of stress. Excellent. Who would like to go next for the downtime?
Jackdaw would also be indulging his vice. So he's gone down to the hooded proprietor and slipped across the mirror into the ghost field, and he's running amok, trying to find, running through these ghost corridors and bypassing ghost locks, trying to push himself to the limit to feel, more energized.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, sounds awful, but yeah. 5. Okay, great. Take 5 away. Perfect. What do you see in particular this time that gets you 5 stress away?
So he's down there, and he unlocks he unlocks a corridor, and he's moving down the corridor. He realizes that he's found where that Forgotten Gods tunnel intersects through the ghost field, and he locks that away. He sees that, he pulls back out, and he locks it away so that he knows nobody's going to get to it through the ghost field. So he feels that he did his part to help keep that Forgotten God at bay.
Brilliant. Okay, I love it. Excellent. What are you doing for your second downtime action?
For my second downtime action, and I think it probably would have happened while he was indulging his vice, he's training as a lurk. He's training in his playbook advancement. He's working the system for one, which will fill out my playbook advancement. And I'm actually going to take a veteran's advance. And it's one that Ben could have taken, and I'm gonna take it because it makes sense for old Jack Daw. And it was functioning vice. So he's learning how to manage his vice. And he knows he always pushes himself to the limit, but he's learning how to manage that.
Yeah, so mechanically you can push your vice up by 1 or down by 1. Isn't that the...
2. 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Wow, that's great. Fantastic. Okay, we move across to... Who hasn't had their downtime yet? Saul. No, how's Saul doing? Saul, again, didn't take a whole lot of stress.
Yeah. I don't really know what Saul's doing.
Well, Saul has a long-term project, which was...
Yeah, the acting. So, yeah, I guess he'll do that for 2 turns.
Great. So if you... so you've gone around and you've found theaters and you've kind of talked to people, and what are you doing to like further the project at this point?
I'm kind of sure why he didn't. I feel like there was a reason he didn't want to join them.
They were weirdly nasty and elitist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they offered you the women's
misogyny
role.
comment. Yeah. Wouldn't let women play. Now I remember why I didn't like those guys. Okay. Yeah, I think that's just searching for a more inclusive group that doesn't hate Skovlanders. So we're threading a needle, I guess. But there you go. I'll go for consort, I guess.
Yeah, consort, perfect. Don't worry about the effect or the position.
Oh, okay, I just put it to controlled and standard.
Yeah.
5 nice. There we go.
That fills out your clock. Now, you realize you were looking in the wrong place. And after the quarantine passes, you head back to Dunsley. And you find that they run this excellent community theatre that's basically like in the ghetto. They roll out the main stage, the main area, the front of the community hall opens. And they tell all the old stories and all the kind of all the things. A lot of them are done in the Skovlanders national language. So Across, you can't even watch them, so it can't be elitist around that. And you have a wonderful time there. And you become... I'm going to add a little note here that anytime you spend a downtime action, it's going to be called a little something on the side. The slide. Anytime you spend a downtime action, at the theatre, working there or whatever, you can put 2 ticks into your stash, which means you're putting away a little bit of money for your future.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent. And that was your first downtime action. What would you like to do for your second one?
I don't know.
Train?
Yeah, I guess train. Yeah. I guess empower.
Great. You get 2 ticks in it because that's what our gang specializes in.
He's not very good at. So, yeah.
Perfect. So you just put 2 ticks into that. That's excellent. Have we done everyone's downtime? Have we forgotten anyone?
Not I, said the pig.
Ben. Yeah, excellent. Slab, go for it.
Quick question first. I've got that trauma. Does that clear out my stress?
Yes. Traumas give you catharsis.
But I wasn't sure if because that trauma was a separate thing, whether or not.
No, absolutely, I think so.
Okay, well in that case, I'm going to spend 1 turn training my prowess,
which will fill that, I'm
which
sure.
will fill that up, and I'm breaking stuff. I'm learning how to wreck.
Learn to love it. And then what are you going to do for your second action?
For my second action, I am going to spend some on my clock. The orphan message
relay. Well, that's so much. Excellent. So what are you doing to help the orphan?
Well, the orphans are getting a bit good at this now. We've gotten to the stage where they can go and find the secret things that I've stashed places. I want to get them to the stage now where they can actually deliver messages when I want them to. So I'm going to get them sort of nipping around town, finding the rest of the crew and delivering messages to them.
Great. Perfect. What would you say you're rolling?
I think I'm going to go for a survey or prowl. Survey is me kind of watching them do it and supervising them. Prowl would be following them around, seeing if they're doing it right.
I'd say it's more of a survey in this situation.
Splendid.
You're overseeing.
What is that? Controlled?
Yeah, controlled standard.
And thanks for the raid, Infinite Monkey Tails.
Hey, hi,
Excellent.
Raiders.
Woo! Perfect time. We're just wrapping up.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
so Ben, your orphan message relay is now functioning. They're really good at doing things. The notes you are giving them are arriving where they're supposed to arrive, even when they don't really know the person, but they know he's wearing a tall hat or she has a mustache. So these orphans are running these notes all over the city for you. It's going to effectively allow you to do a lot of things at distance. So you won't necessarily need to go to everyone, but also it's given these Takarosi kids job prospects, and they're learning skills that are going to help them in their future lives. Wow, it's like a foundation you're starting here.
Pretty much, yeah.
So what is the next step on we'll start another clock.
Okay, next step up from the orphan message relay. What you've said there about the foundation is a good idea. So I'm going to go with legitimate business front.
Brilliant. Legitimate business front. I think it's the same amount of clock. I think it's the 6 o'clock. I'll just type it in. Legit business front. Excellent. Okay. Which brings us.
I'm going to spend my extra action on that, I think.
Yes.
Calculating. I'm going to use my calculating to give myself an extra downtime action to work on my legit business front.
Love it. Roll it for me, please. What are you doing? What's the first thing you're going to do?
For that one, I'm going to study how to set up a business so that all of the paperwork is done properly.
Perfect. Controlled standard. Just paperwork.
Yeah. Bing.
3 ticks.
Nice.
How much coin did we get? I'll spend the coin to 2.
2 each.
So I'm gonna spend coin to do 2 more downtime. Another one on trying to finish the possession.
Great, fantastic. Yeah. So you get to. What are you doing to try and finish? I imagine it tuning, but are you doing something different this time?
This time around, I am going to use command to get people to come down to my basement so I can practice possessions on them.
Great. Okay. Terrifying. I love it. Yeah. Sounds good. Roll it for me, please. Risky though.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Standard.
Yeah, standard. I'm going to say standard. I was going to say limited because I don't think anyone could convince me to command me down to a basement. But, maybe there's crisps or something. I don't know. This will fill out your level 1 harm, which is punched in the gut. So just beside Cybernet will take gut punch. Yeah. So what are you saying? You're like, how are you commanding these people? What is this? You're out on the street. You meet this guy. He's got a large mustache that kind of goes down sideburn stuff.
River takes out a coin and is like, be a part of the new growing community of researchers and dealing with how to deal with demons.
And the second you say the word demons, he just like oonks you right in the gut and goes, ah! into your face and runs away. So yeah, there's your payoff for that. Would anyone else like to spend a bit of coin? You each have 2 coin to do another gentle action.
Yeah, I think I will, actually. I would like to acquire an asset.
Okay, Slab, what kind of asset are you trying to acquire?
I would like to acquire a small office.
Oh, so you want a permanent asset?
Yeah, is that a permanent asset? Is that a different thing?
It's a different thing.
Different thing entirely. But we could start. Do you know the first step to that is finding one?
Okay. Yeah. Is this a clock thing again then?
Yeah, it's a clock thing again. Yeah. So it's a 4 o'clock, I think, to find like an office.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So you can start at 4 o'clock and you can make your first roll.
Right, I'm going to start looking for an office then.
Great.
Nothing
And it's thematic that you're spending a bit of coin doing this, because you're going around to visits and sliding people some money and that kind of thing.
It's a rubbish roll.
Oh, I'll just see it now. And so you get 2 ticks in it. 2 ticks into your 4 o'clock. So it'll be next session, pretty much, I reckon, before you even find the office. Excellent. I think looking at the time, it's now 10 past 11. That's 2 hours 10 since we started. And it has been an excellent session. You guys did really well. And thank you so much. And that's the end of Blades in the Josh version. And next week you'll be playing Blades in the Aaron, which I'm sure will be an absolute blast. I'm very jealous, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful time. And thank you, all the viewers, and that raid that came in just at the end to watch us establish the orphan message relay. It's great to have you here. Out of context, that makes no goddamn sense. But yeah, thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a lovely week.